Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente yo-yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 879, primarily in a row. My name's Rob. Happy that you're here. Honored and humbled that you keep coming back like for reals. Hey, it's Pi Day, 314. Yeah, because 3.14 is the numeric, pi, right? Like that's about all I know. It's got a bunch of numbers after that. So because of that, it's National STEM Day, right? So on the news, everybody's wearing purple like the STEM people are. And so I don't have any purple on, but I've got a red card and a blue sweatshirt. And if I were to mix these together, you'd get purple, kind of like that light back there. So there you go, right? Better than nothing. Hey, the date, we already went through that. It's a work day, yeah. We got plenty of work to do, so let's do it. First things first, still the realist. Daddy. Yeah, and unfortunately, my kids are getting to that age where they're wanting to stop calling me daddy and call me dad, and I do not like that. But I'm on daddy duty, right? Like I'm here with my kids, and good stuff always comes out of that. So on to our real talk. Our real talk is this: rejection equals protection. Those aren't my words, right? Katy Perry sings about it in the song "Smile." Actually, the line is, "Rejection can be God's protection." And when you think about it. Certainly when I think about it, the times in my life where I've been rejected, and we almost all handle rejection a similar way, right? We get emotional, we question why somebody could think that way. Once you come to the realization that that other party's rejecting you, it's time to move on, right? Easier said than done, simple, not easy, but perhaps this helps, right? Rejection can be God's protection. There's going to be God intervening, like you need to get away from those people. They know that it ain't a good fit. And so when they reject you, take that for what it's worth. That's your protection. It's time to move on. And, we'll talk about it here in a minute, but, it's interesting that I was talking to a very good friend of mine, my dong sang, on Friday night when I got home. And yesterday I came to the realization, I'm like, man, as all of this was happening, as I was coming to the realization that, I don't know, there were so many things that happened in this recent change that I'm just like, man, it just feels like as soon as I said certain things, as soon as things came out of my mouth, as soon as things came out of other people's mouth, things started changing. Just like that whole thing with me talking to, he's the owner of the company I work for. And I had the chalkboard here behind me and wrote "Can't Fake Humble" on it. And that whole thing, it just blew his mind. But he knew what happened, right? He knew that was a God wink, just like I did. And, as I've sat here and thought about it and heard that line from Katy Perry and listened to that song about coming out of that negative relationship and shining and all that stuff, rejection can be God's protection. The next time you're rejected, take it as, oh, that's a good thing. Let me just keep moving and shaking. And guess what? Good things will probably happen for me, right? So, rejection can be God's protection. I love that. Let's do our thank yous, and we're done for the day. But before we do, this is what we got on the bottom here. Be nice, be grateful, be generous, right? Love that stuff. But don't worry, we're still going to do our thank yous. I just wrote them down on here. God is good, right? When I think about that story and just think about how everything happened, I'm like, wow. God's good to me. Thank you. You got to find your people, right? There were a couple people that I had kind of shut them out. They had reached out to me a couple times the last couple months. It just wasn't in the mood to talk. Honestly, I think I was embarrassed to say that I'm still where I was. Still here letting these people treat me like crap. Connected with two people, my Dong Sang and Frankie P. And it was great to chat with both of them and see both of them in similar situations. And, Frankie P, I worked with this guy, right? And we used to sit in this little pod, and it was shitty, and we hated it. And now we look back at it and laugh about it because there were three of us that sat in that pod, and all three of us were like in really bad situations. Not really bad, just not great situations. And here we are a couple years later, and all three of us are in much better situations. And it's because none of us stopped believing, stopped working. We just kept going, right? God winks. I'm thankful for daddy duty and all the things that come with it. Some art. We drew leprechauns yesterday. That was fun. Music, right? right? My kids are always wanting to listen to music, and we laugh and we dance and we have fun. Thankful for jokes. We've got our jokes ready to go. We were going to record them yesterday, but Jack just didn't feel like it. Thankful for YouTube, right? Think about that. Think about how often my family and I are on YouTube, whether it's spreading good news like this and reminding people like, hey, it's going to be okay. Just keep going, right? Or whether it's joy with my kids telling jokes or my kids dunking basketballs. Thankful for the freedom to do that. Somebody said something to me recently like, wow, you've really stepped up your social media game. Like, absolutely I have, because I'm not using a company phone that I was dictated to I have much more freedom in my life these days, and I'm in a much better environment, which reminds me to go to the next thing I'm thankful for. Find your people, right? When you find your people, you will get what you need out of life, the energy, the advice. For example, one of my people, Uncle Buck, gave me this calendar, and on Monday, last Monday, it talked about how heaven and earth give themselves to us. Animal, water, plants, air, water, plants, animals, and humans give themselves to each other. It is in this giving themselves to each other that we actually live, whether you appreciate it or not. It's true. It doesn't say anything in there about being the person that just takes. We got to give, got to be generous. Tuesday, after all, if I can't be myself, who can? Nobody. The Tao is like water. It seeks the lowly level, which mean abhor. I mean, there is great, and that's not just recent. That's not just somebody like me that just showed up today. This stuff, they've been writing this down for a long time, right? Find your people. Thankful for Katy Perry, right? Katy Perry, a lot of the music that she sings resonates. As Nuke says in here, she talks to my soul, right? And that song, Smile, I love that song. It literally encapsulates where I'm at in my life right now. Thankful for the positive energy that I'm in right now, between the new circles that I have at work and things like that. Because for me personally, when I'm in the positive energy, man, it's like the floodgates open with creativity. I'm thankful for the Oklahoma announcer. I don't know if you guys saw anything about this, but there was an Oklahoma announcer got caught on a live feed saying some really bad things about some high school girls basketball players. And, obviously not a great look for the state of Oklahoma, but that's one person here. And I don't like how the whole thing's become politicized, but I love it when people give an example of this is why you should kneel, right? This is why and that was his problem. His problem was with them kneeling before the game, and as he's dropping N-words and all this, being a coward, doing it when he thinks nobody's listening. Then all of a sudden when people are listening, it's over, man. So I'm thankful for the example of, hey, if you got some racist behaviors and stuff like that, bury that deep down inside, go to counseling, talk it out there. The higher the position you're in, people are waiting for you to step in some of that shit, especially if they know you act that way. I'm thankful for y'all. So with that, we are done. Hands up, peace out, we're better together. I appreciate you stopping by on a Sunday fun day. Speaking of which, that song's on now. So go out and have some fun. Have some balance in your life. Don't just do one thing, right? And make sure you come back tomorrow on Mama Monday. We'll see you then. Deuces, #Real Talk. Love you guys. See ya. Bye. Remember, rejection can be God's protection. Heard from Katy Perry. I'm just repeating it. See ya.